At this time, we have something really, really important to discuss. And I'm really excited to hear all about it. Tony, let's talk about the community pool capital improvement project.
Thank you. Good evening again. So we have a really good and exciting opportunity to improve our community pool here in town. As many of you guys know, it was built and constructed in 2003, so it's been a little while. Then we have our splash pad addition, and along with our parking lot addition that came along in 2011. But since then, a lot of Band-Aids have been put on, and mechanical issues, facelifts, aesthetically not pleasing areas and whatnot. So staff has done a wonderful job with the maintenance and preventative maintenance of the pool over the years. However, you do reach a point in time where you may have to make a decision on how we're going to move forward and what's best for our community and whatnot. So we have a great opportunity to spend up to $4 million of bond funds. And here's, as you can see, is our beautiful community pool, nice and clean, thanks to Tim. And these awesome pictures, by the way, I have to brag, this is Daniel as well. He took out the drone. He was gutsy enough to take it out the other day. So took out some amazing pictures of the pool. So thought I'd throw that in there. So we have a good opportunity to improve our pump rooms and make it a little bit easier for our staff to work on during the pool season. This is our pump rooms now. As you can see, the picture at the top is our competition pump room. A lot of those components there have gone obsolete, meaning if they were to go down and malfunction, we cannot replace them. A lot of them are not even functioning. And another good reason to improve the facility is to be in compliance, right, with ADA compliance, so make sure that we're always safe there. We do have the pump room from the splash pad at the bottom. Those are all the original components as well. So why am I bringing all this up? So we have the opportunity to upgrade every single component from the pool pump rooms this season before the pool season opens, okay? That would be what we would consider phase one. I would need direction from our park board tonight to take this for final approval to our council in the near future.
And Tony, what does phase one cost?
I don't have that number quite yet. My direction, very firm direction, was not to exceed the allotted funds that I was given to make these improvements. I do have Mr. David McCaskill. He's the gentleman I've been working with closely with Half and Associates. So he's helping us with all the renderings and all the strategic planning moving forward. So he's reassured me that we will not be exceeding those funds. So while at the same time talking with my team, making sure that they have what they need to make these improvements moving forward, and they best suit what the pool needs. Okay, both facilities, by the way.
So you don't have a number not to exceed?
I do. It's $4 million. Okay. Yes, ma'am.
But the $4 million doesn't just cover the pump room.
It does not just cover the pump rooms. It does cover the least majority of it. So, in other words, what I'll present to you next, it'll give you a better idea of what all encompasses on those funds. So the $4 million, what we are planning on doing is to construct, over on the top monitor is a party room, a 40 by 40 party room with climate control. It will have some cooking elements there for any birthday parties or any type of party that we want to rent them out to. It will have restrooms, and it's big enough for yoga, if we wanted to do yoga in the off season or any type of other classes. So that kind of all of a sudden opens up a lot of opportunities for us as a department. It will have a roll-up door, kind of like what you see at restaurants, where one side of the building kind of lifts up or kind of rows, has accordion doors. So that'll look kind of neat. I think Blue 22 has those, if I'm not mistaken. Another cool feature about the party room, it would have a covered porch with some fans and picnic tables. So if Tim gets a request for a party room or a birthday party, or two birthday parties, he can now rent the party room inside, or rent the porch itself as well, and we can have two parties going at the same time, so. Or maybe they want to rent the whole thing, so that's pretty exciting. We have the slide over to the left. It's what's considered a double barrel slide, I believe, what Tim mentioned the other day, so in order for us to do that, we would have to convert the kiddie pool into a plunge pool. Another neat feature about that is that we can host classes in the plunge pool now if we want to target either kids or seniors as well. So there's kind of killing two birds with one stone there as well. So there's that. One of the major components that we have to, without a doubt, improve is the roof on both pump rooms. Right now, when it rains, all the water gets inside those elements and getting them wet and aging them a little bit quicker and become brittle. So constructing a metal roof on top of both pump rooms. So, and over to the right, you have the splash pad. The splash pad, you have another pavilion that we're proposing. That's that rectangle you see at the bottom there. So you'll have a shaded area. Again, if we wanted to lease out the area for a birthday party, we'd be able to do so as well. And another piece of this, phase one, would be updating our splash pad features, and that means it would consider repainting all of them and throwing on a new coat of polyurethane to make them last several more years as well. So, and then of course there's some odds and ends here and there that this would encompass. So we couldn't be any more excited to move forward with this project. There's some landscape features as well that we are going to improve on, and that's pretty much everything that we have at the moment.
How many phases are there?
Only two. So this first phase would be the improvement of the pump rooms and the splash pad features. We've been told that it would be finished before this pool season. Next season in 2023, the rest of what you see up there and I mentioned would be done immediately after the pool closes and be done before 2024.
What's the capacity of the party room?
It's a 40 by 40 right now. That's being proposed. I don't know. I'm not sure what the capacity would be on that.
And it can be fully enclosed with one side opening
That's
up.
correct. Yes, ma'am.
And when you refer to the cooking equipment, what type of cooking
We
equipment?
haven't gotten that detailed yet on this, so it would be minimal. It wouldn't be like a full-blown kitchen or anything, but it would be a minimal, small kitchen for someone to heat up some food and whatnot, maybe a microwave, but that's probably the extent of it, and then restrooms as well. And it would be climate controlled.
Would we have the ability to utilize that room on off-season? Like we talked about before,
Yes,
there's
ma'am.
nowhere to do a birthday party or anything. That would be,
Absolutely, yes. Again, Tim's come up with some good ideas on how to utilize this party room during the off-season. During the season, it's a no-brainer. It's going to be, this thing's going to get rented nonstop, right? But even during the off-season classes, and meeting those expectations that we've received from the citizen survey a couple years ago as well, right? So that's the intention here for sure. Yeah, both Sumner and Tim have come up with some pretty good ideas on how to move forward with this project. And yeah, I couldn't be happier. And David's doing a really good job as well, keeping me updated on all this good stuff. So to answer, I think it was your question on the fund, we would not exceed those funds with this project.
Is one company doing everything, or this is different companies doing different things?
Did you get that? Is it one company? He wants.
Well, from the design side, there'll be one company. We've got two different sub-consultants that'll be working with us. We've got an architect, and then we've got Councilman Hunsaker, which is an aquatic consultant. That's all they do is aquatic projects. And then as far as the construction side of it, we're gonna have to be real creative on the construction side, because obviously we're in November now, or getting almost into November. If you wanna have the pool open, in Memorial Day of '23, we're gonna have to be creative of how we do that. We're probably gonna go through a buying cooperative called the Buy Board to select the contractor to do the work in the pump rooms. Because if we have to go out with a bid period, which typically takes about 2 months, we're not gonna have it finished in time for pool season. So we've got to be creative because of the short amount of time we've got to A, to design it, and B, to get it built. So we've got to figure out ways to shorten the period. So we'll probably have one consultant or one contractor do the pump room work. That same contractor will probably be the same contractor that would actually install the slide towers in phase 2. So, but then we'd probably hire a general contractor or go through the bidding process to get a general contractor to do all the rest of the work.
So I lived through the first park bond. Those of you who were here then. And I gotta tell you, there was a lot of moving parts and a lot of meetings and a lot of cost overruns and a lot of cutting things because we all thought a certain amount of money would go. That's why we only have 3 baseball fields instead of 4. Because it is what it is. So my only thinking would be, I get the whole phase 1, phase 2. But it seems to me we need to put a number to each component and prioritize them. Tony, you probably already done this, but I would think when you go in front of council, you have a number in mind for each of the pieces with a contingency plan that says, if we get the 4 million hard stop, these 3 things go away. Because I think that's gonna be critical. If you're talking about money over 2 years, with inflation, who knows what it's gonna cost to build something in 2023 or 2024,
Right.
whatever.
So my plan is to, great questions. My plan is to address this at the next council meeting. I will have all those numbers in place for them. And once this is approved, David's going to go ahead and get started on locking all those construction contractors in place. And then just that way, they're, like you said, lock them in place. That way, there's no inflation fees or anything that they'll come back and increase their bids, right? So that would not exist. We'll lock those folks in place and make sure that we start doing a timeline and start going at it right after council approves this project.
I just think you need something that these 3 things can go if they have to, because I think the pump room is a no-brainer, right? That makes,
Right.
You start with the most important thing you have to have, and then go from there, because, 4 million doesn't seem like enough to me, and I don't know anything about anything, but that seems like it's pretty tight on what you just showed us.
Right.
I have a question. So if you are starting soon and you want to be ready for 23, do you have a contingency plan that doesn't all follow the timeline? You have community members that bank on that pool, and based on this last summer, they may eat you alive if they can't get access to this pool. So what's the contingency if you can't get this pool ready to go?
Well, the plan is to start right here at this pump room and then moving here at the same time, right? So we've already met, or David has already met with our vendor, and they have all these components in place in stock, and they're just ready for us to give them the green light, okay? So we also met with the contractor that's going to install these components, which is the same vendor that has them in stock. So that's a big plus for us. So we feel very confident that we can open in time for 2023 season. The contingency, well, it would be us having to delay the pool opening, but I don't see that happening at all. We have swim team also that we have to consider, and we have all sorts of, like you said, expectations that we need to meet. So I'll make sure that we meet those.
The other question I have is with the party room, will there be a discount on rental fees to Trophy Club residents versus say a non-resident? Say someone from Roanoke wants to rent it.
Maybe. We haven't gotten that far yet. We really haven't. So maybe
That could
that's
be an
once this is
incentive for your Trophy Club residents.
correct. Absolutely. Yes.
I think what we're just deciding tonight is to take this to council, correct?
Yes. I just need direction, and to echo what David said, we're running a little bit, our time's ticking. So I really need that direction. I'm taking it to council, but I would like some direction to take him to move forward.
Well, do the voters have to vote? You said a bond.
The bond's been set. I believe it was a general obligations bond, so it's been.
It's already been passed?
Yeah, it's about 2 years old, I believe, or maybe less. So that's in place. It's ready to go.
So just council approval and then you go.
That's correct.
The
Yes.
bond was for anything or for the pool?
It was for improvements of the town, so this was,
Anything could have been improved in the
Right.
pickleball court, whatever, correct? Just say, it could have been anything. Your house.
Will this, or how will this affect the cost of entry?
again, haven't really decided that yet, right? I don't know, I know that we haven't increased fees in some years, several years, and I have a breakdown of all of the revenues that we've brought in the past 5 or 6 years, I believe. So I can present those at the next council, or park board meeting, but at the moment, I haven't thought that far ahead yet.
Well, I mean, anytime you do an improvements and then you couple it with inflation, I think we're expecting that rates are going to go up.
Yes,
But is
ma'am.
it exponentially going to go up? And then also, are we still Trophy Club only? Are we allowing outside?
Yes, ma'am.
Will we reconsider maybe doing, we talked about doing a deal with Roanoke where it was like, we can go to your pool and you can come to ours, or maybe even open it up just around. And if we're going to do these fantastic improvements, we might consider opening it up to not just Trophy Club residents. I used to live there. And then when Hawaiian Falls opened up, peaced out. All the bigger kids left.
Right.
Which was great and also bad, because now the pool is available, it was a ghost town.
Right.
And you could go as a resident and you could be there alone, but that's not a moneymaker. So we got.
Yeah, I brought this to council, I believe less than a year ago, maybe just a little bit over. What the pool, the pool, the intentions of the pool is to offer a program or a amenity to our residents. We understand that it's not going to offset cost as far as the maintenance goes. Our entry fees will never be able to do that, but it doesn't mean that we shouldn't increase the fees. I just don't know how much, what that percentage would look like, or if we would even do it at all, right? So that's something that still would require a schedule fee amendment, and it still would have to pass through council. So I haven't gone that far yet, but I hear you loud and clear.
Well, I'm just thinking, something to
Absolutely.
consider is if we have this amazing thing and 10% of the town utilizes it, let's open it up to some other people.
Right.
You know what I mean? Everybody's
Sure.
got a pool that lives here or whatever, you know, and if we're not going enough because my kids are grown and whatever,
Right.
then let's get some people in here that are gonna use it and help people.
Okay, so that's probably a whole nother thing to discuss at a whole nother time.
Probably so.
Dealing with the rates. I will just say this. I've heard, first of all, the pool is how many years old?
Approximately, it's going on 25, just under
Okay.
25 years
The
old.
fact that it's made it 25 years is already a testament to the people taking care of it, because I can't even imagine it would go that far. So the pump room component of it is an absolute no-brainer. The additional amenities, I think, is also warranted, because our pool doesn't hold up to other communities, I promise you, when you look at what other
right.
communities have. And I've heard that complaint a number of times, that the splash pad is, if you got 2, 3-year-olds, that's great, but my 10-year-old doesn't want to go play in that, so they're going to go to Hawaiian Falls or whatever. I think you need to let the town do, and you won't notice the real improvements till phase 2, right? But I think at that point, you will judge the rates and all that based on who shows up.
Oh, I totally get it, but that's
Those
gonna be.
slides could change everything, and now you have to raise rates. It's just,
I agree, but that's gonna be the first question out of everybody's mouth.
Oh, yeah,
How
for
much
sure.
is this gonna cost me now? Because that's our town.
Oh,
But
absolutely.
something to think about.
but I think tonight, we just want to figure out, I believe that this is great use of $4 million. I think this is a necessary thing, and this extends its life another 25 years. I won't even be here for the next round of improvement. But I think it's something, and if you all agree, we need to make a motion, or we don't need to make a motion, what do we need to do?
Yes.
Colin.
Just
And the motion needs to
take it to council.
let the park director take the capital improvement project, present to town council, with the idea that you will definitely want to show up with some figures
Absolutely.
and numbers, kind of thing.
Before
So,
you do that, are this 1.1 million for phase 1 and 2.8 million for phase 2, are those approximate?
Those are approximate numbers, yes.
with the hard number
Only.
for,
Yes. Not to exceed.
Okay, so what if they come back and say, we'll do phase one, but we don't like phase two. Is that even an option, or?
It wouldn't be an option, because the plan is to lock everything now, do contracts now, and lock those dates in at the moment. So as soon as I get the okay from our council, then I'll get with David and get the ball rolling.
Okay, so I guess my follow-up question is, what if council says, yeah, no, we're not doing that? Is there an opportunity for you to go, well, we really at least need to do this? Because this is a maintenance thing, it's important. If that stuff breaks in the middle of the season, we're done.
Correct.
So.
Yeah, that's true, yes. And that's why we're doing phase one the way we're doing it, is because we need to really prioritize this project. I wish we could do it all, right? But
No,
then
I hear you.
at the same time-
I love the idea.
Yeah.
I'm just kind of thinking about opposition and how to combat it up front.
Absolutely. I think the council will understand that phase one, all of it needs to be done. But phase one being the most important, so we'll get that knocked out.
I'd like to make a motion to take this to council for
Second.
approval.
Second?
All in favor?
Thank you.